So now that we understand what happens when you power on a computer, let's talk about what actually makes it usable. Because without this one piece, your screen would just sit there, blank. We're talking about the operating system, or OS for short. It's the software that brings your computer to life. As we've discovered earlier, once the BIOS or UEFI does its thing, it finds your storage device and loads the operating system into RAM. That's when things start to feel familiar. Your desktop shows up, icons appear, you move your mouse, and it just works. But what exactly is an OS? At its core, an operating system is like a middleman, or really, a manager. It manages your computer's hardware, files, and programs, and how everything talks to each other. Think of it as the translator between you and the machine. When you click a button, the OS figures out what hardware needs to do what and makes it happen. Every time you open a browser, type in Microsoft Word, or listen to music, the OS is working behind the scenes, coordinating everything. Let's look at the four main jobs of an operating system. Hardware management controls your CPU, RAM, disk, and peripherals like your mouse, keyboard, and printer. File management organizes your files into folders, tracks where things are saved, and handles reading-writing to storage. Process management keeps track of which apps are running and shares resources fairly. Have you ever opened 10 tabs at once? The OS is juggling all that. User interface gives you something to interact with, like a desktop taskbar or command line. There are different types of operating systems, but they all serve the same purpose. Windows is great for general users and gamers, most common worldwide. macOS runs on Apple devices, known for design and media work. Linux is open source and super flexible, popular with developers and in servers. They each look different, but under the hood, they all manage hardware, run software, and help users get stuff done. Imagine your computer is an orchestra. The hardware, like the CPU, RAM, and storage, are the instruments. You're the audience, expecting everything to sound just right. The operating system is the conductor, making sure each instrument plays at the right time in harmony, and the whole performance comes together beautifully. So without an OS, there would be no apps, no sound, no Wi-Fi, just silence. That's why the OS is the foundation of everything you see and do on your computer. Now let's have a quick recap. The OS gets loaded into RAM when you boot your system. It manages hardware, files, processes, and your entire user experience. Windows, macOS, and Linux are the most common ones. And without it, your computer's just a fancy box with lights. So next time you log into your computer, remember, it's not just the desktop, it's the operating system working behind the scenes, making sure every click, scroll, and tap just works. Before we dive into how the OS manages files, processes, multitasking, and more, you need a safe space to explore. But to create that space, you first need to understand virtualization, what it is, how it works, and why it's such a game changer in the tech industry. So in the next video, we'll break down virtualization, like what it means, the different types such as Type 1 and Type 2 hypervisors, and how tools like VirtualBox lets you create your own virtual machines. If you're as excited as I am, don't forget to like and subscribe because we're almost ready to dive in and get our hands dirty.